into these games. This is game number 1 of the 2017 European Regionals. Rocket eSports going up against Grumble.
Yeah, Rocket eSports, Ratify, Bubs, Pacifier, MVP of Rogue Mage Priest. Grumble. Looks like Jim is going to be stepping off Holy Paladin and playing Holy Priest. Volkovich will be playing Frost Death Knight, so let's see if he can get the burst out. Bubs moving in. Not able to land a sap just yet. Going to just be opening with some damage, following up with a full stun. Looks like they're trying to pressure Bubs away, but in the meantime, Pacifier secured a full polymorph. They're going to be training down Volkovich. Pressure onto him. Trades out any magic shell to deflect the attacks, trying to keep himself stable while Jim sits through crowd control. Now Volkovich trying to lead a charge with his Pillar of Frost, but Pacifier with a well-timed temporal shield should easily heal back to full. Now pressure over to Volkovich. Forced out his Icebound Fortitude. Pressure back onto Pacifier. Back and forth between these two teams. Ratify gripping Pacifier to safety, trying to buy some time for those diminishing returns to reset before they can start another crowd control chain, but Pacifier in trouble. Forced into an early ice block and Grumble in a dominating position.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see that the RMP is going to be playing on the Alliance side, so they have more breaks for those stuns, but still the ice block force very early. We can see Ray of Hope coming out of Jim now. That means Volkovich's health should go up there. He's able to top him off, and Jim's playing Relentless, which means the big opportunity for the Rogue Mage Priest is the blind, but they already used it and they didn't force very much with it.
Yeah, Rockets eSports on the run. Pacifier in trouble. Ratify barely holding on to his life with that penance ticking. Down at 10%. Grumble in a dominating position, forcing his second ice block already. Swapping over to Bubs and completely erasing him down to 5% remaining health. Ratify struggling to keep his team alive at this point with everybody dying. Jim in a good position. Volkovich trying to put the final nail in the coffin. Bubs on 5%. Pacifier on 5%. Ratify still struggling to top them off, and Volkovich charges through, cutting through Rockets eSports like butter. Fists of Fury takes Bubs out, and Grumble going to be leading the game number 1 here against Rockets eSports. And this is exactly the nerve-shaking moment that Rockets eSports did not want to have happen.
Number 1 seed, Rockets eSports will have to see if they can come back in game number 2.
Yeah, another thing to point out is Bubs and Pacifier could pressure down Jim on Holy Priest. That is something you do not want to experience as a Holy Priest, is 2 melee classes training you down. We're have to wait and see as Bubs is crossing the map. They immediately open up over onto Volkovich. They are going to be trying to train down the Death Knight for now. Going to be cheap shotting Jim looking for crowd control, already baiting out an early Ray of Hope. Now Volkovich getting swapped too. He's got Pillar of Frost up. He's really trying to rip in. He's playing Ring of Peace. Interesting choice from Voltarius here. It's protecting his team on the top of the tomb. They are getting knocked back and unable to enter the zone. Bubs now should be able to train forward. Really curious to see if they do decide to go after Jim. Jim has burned a lot of his defensive cooldowns to avoid crowd control. There's pressure onto Bubs. Anybody that walks over this tombstone gets pressured back and forced away. Double stun combo coming out. Ratify moving in for a fear. Double fear. Volkovich taking a ton of damage. Volkovich trades out Icebound Fortitude. Connects a Death Strike. He may need another. Guardian forced out as well. Rockets eSports have pulled the trigger with Vendetta and Incarn rolling. Volkovich will be in trouble. Mind Control at low health with full bleeds ticking. In danger. Jim barely hanging on as Volkovich looks to fall, and Rockets eSports strike back in a devastating blow on Runes of Lordaeron. See if Grumble can pull off another one against Rocket eSports Rogue Mage Priest on Tolvaron.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I really startles me from the start is Jim is once again using that Relentless talent. I know myself, if I was playing that, my partners would be very annoyed at me because the Subtlety Rogue, when you do use that blind, it's such a long crowd control chain, it's often enough to burst someone down. So he's really relying on Volkovich when that blind does come out to use his IBF to survive by himself with the AMS as well. So we'll have to see if that's going to play out again. If they can keep connecting to Pacifier, it's going to be really hard for Rockets.
Yeah, Pacifier doing well to kite away from Voltarius, controlling him with a polymorph in the center of the map. Now setting up for an Ebon Bolt Flurry combo. Crowd control with blind onto Jim. Bubs looking to sap out of that. Pressure towards Volkovich. He's getting baited into the middle of the map, dipping dangerously low, caught into a double fear with Voltarius. Jim finally out of crowd control, will connect to Ray of Hope. Will shortly going to be topping him off with that Apotheosis. Pacifier and Bubs seem to be thwarted away for now as Volkovich tries to turn around the pressure over to Pacifier. Down to half. Huge damage comes in, forcing the first ice block, and this is looking similar to game number 1. Now swapping over to Ratify, interrupting him into a paralyze. Nice crowd control from Voltarius there. Bubs in the back line trying to pressure Jim, get that Holy Ward out of the way, maybe bait the fade so he can initiate some crowd control. There goes the kidney shots. Pacifier needs to follow that up. Gets the polymorph, but Bubs is getting counter-pressured as he's going too deep. Down below 40%. Ratify trying to pick him up, keep him aggressive. Volkovich trying to retreat away, and line of sight Pacifier doing a good job on defense so far. Pillar of Frost 10 seconds away. As soon as that Pillar of Frost is available, Volkovich will look to turn this pressure around.
Yeah, and Voltarius is just playing so well. I mean, he gets the perfect crowd controls onto Ratify. He has such good uptime over onto Pacifier, and when he needs to come back, he comes back, makes Bubs the one who's like really thinking about his position. We see now crowd control going over onto Jim, Jim Jim, but once again, they're connecting onto Pacifier, and he can't get the follow-up polymorph.
Yeah, it's very difficult on this map with such a large pillar. Does appear like Grumble have a good defensive strategy to stay alive, but they need counter pressure if they're going to find a kill. In the meantime, Rocket eSports are pressuring Jim Jim. They force out Guardian and Ray of Hope in the same swap. He will easily top off, but without those two crucial cooldowns, Volkovich could be vulnerable. Voltaire's caught into a polymorph. Jim Jim unable to dispel. Bubs follows now with a kidney shot. Can Pacifier get into line of sight of Jim Jim to get the polymorph? No, he gets denied, but Volkovich is low. Will he be able to survive? Double Fist of Fury to peel him away by Jim Jim. A couple of global cooldowns to top off Volkovich. Jim Jim now charging to the center of the map, trying to maybe get a stun onto Ratapai and start a crowd control chain, trying to avoid the polymorphs as well. Pacifier spamming them out, manages to sneak a full polymorph. Volkovich getting pressured. They need the Icebound Fortitude from this assault. They need more crowd control. They don't get the follow-up. Ratapai gets paralyzed. They deny the fear. Jim Jim looks to move in after that with a chastise, and Pacifier's in trouble. Second ice block forced out. Great defense to offense from Grumble. They're looking for like a very well-rounded team against Rocket eSports here.
Yeah, and Ratapai even played that really well. He got the preemptive barrier down on the incap, but he still had to use his human trinket. They still forced the block from Pacifier, and that's because Voltarius, every single time he is connecting with those short little crowd controls, you can see he used the Touch of Death there. That was also the Serenity. A lot of damage coming out from him there, and it just seems like any answer the Rockets eSports throw, they're still trading the ice block, and that's not sustainable in a long game.
At this point, Ratapai is almost out of mana. I would like to see maybe Rocket eSports completely retreat away and try and set up a drink, but no. Connect the Touch of Karma in between the stun lock. That will allow Voltarius to survive for now. He's trying to retreat away and interrupt the polymorph. Great interrupt there from Voltarius. That allows Jim Jim now to easily heal him. Pacifier deflecting this assault with Temporal Shield. Now that's out of the way. Pain Suppression available. That will be Ratapai's last line of defense to keep Pacifier alive. Bubs getting mind controlled away, unable to help his partner. Polymorph being spammed out by Pacifier, looking to find one. Jim Jim fades the polymorph, gets out of line of sight. Jim Jim needs to avoid this polymorph as long as possible. Voltarius is going to interrupt him. Bubs is trying to initiate. Shadow steps over to Jim Jim. He gets Fists of Fury away, looking for a kidney shot. Jim Jim, though, almost completely out of mana. Ratapai not looking for a drink at all. He's going to just go on fumes and try and go with this last crowd control chain as they make a swap over to the Windwalker Monk. One stun into another, but they drop the crowd control chain. Jim Jim connects the saving Ray of Hope to keep Voltarius offensive. Now Ratapai completely tapped. Pacifier, they just need to stay alive a little bit longer, avoid the Shadow Blades, avoid the Icy Veins, and as soon as that's over, this is looking to be an easy win for Grumble.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Icy Veins was used there. They didn't get too much out of it. Still not too many defensive cooldowns on the side of Grumble, but you can see that Touch of Death from Voltarius is up in about 5 seconds, and Bub's getting busted.
Yeah, they make the swap over to Bubs on 10%, and Ratapai has nothing left. What will he do to keep his team alive? Voltarius initiating the crowd control. Jim Jim caught into a stun as well, but it seems like Pacifier and Bubs are on the back foot. A stun over onto Ratapai. Jim looking to claim this match with that crowd control. Bubs still on 2%. Ratapai has no way to heal his team. They're just flailing around, spamming polymorphs as Grumble look for the final blow. Pillar of Frost activated, gets stunned away again, but Bubs just has nothing left. The Frostworm almost taking him out. They swap to Pacifier in the corner and follow it up for the kill. Grumble playing phenomenally, both defense and offense on Tolfer.
Alrighty, well, we are into game number 4, and bear in mind, guys, this is the number 12 seed against the number 1 seed, 1 game away from winning.
Voltarius is just charging in. They're going to go for that ultra-aggressive strategy, but Ratapai fears them away. Jim Jim wasn't able to pack them up, and Volkovich has been peeled away. Ratapai trying to create as much space as possible and bait Volkovich behind the pillar. Jim Jim being line-of-sighted. Ring of Peace interrupting Ratapai on the wall, knocking him up constantly back and forth, but ultimately not creating too much pressure. Cheeky play from Grumble, but not resulting in anything too major just yet. Volkovich still getting pressured away. Full blind used over onto Jim Jim. Volkovich is just going all in for the kill, but really no damage coming out. Ratapai's done a great job to survive through this onslaught, and now Volkovich is on the back foot, trying to deflect with the Death Strike spam, healing himself back to full. Jim Jim stabilizing him for now. In this position, though, it feels like Grumble is going to fall behind more and more.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've already traded out all of their cooldowns. Incarnation's up for another 10 seconds. Ratapai dropping a bit low, uses the barrier, but Volkovich is just going to go down. He didn't have anything, and once again, Grumble, they used the Ring of Peace, they used the human trinket on Jim Jim before the Incarnations even popped, and then there's just not enough left to keep.
To Blackrock Hold Arena, 3 seconds away. Game match point for these two teams. You do not want to be losing the first round of the group stage. Is going to put you in a horrible position for the rest of the tournament. The pressure is on. Who will fall? Bubs trying to cross the map. Voltaire's getting combat for Jim Jim, denying the initial sap, but Bubs will immediately start with cheap shots. Can they follow that up with anything? They're going to swap to Jim Jim the healer, trying to pressure him down in the early parts of this game. Ray of Hope denies the kill. Now they set up the kill for Pacifier in a reverse. He temporal shields before the follow-up stun, denies the kill. Looks like they're still trying to go after Jim Jim, but he's got him caught in a mind control. Jim Jim needs to be careful. He needs to start line of sighting Pacifier if they do decide to just train him down, and that does seem to be what they want to do. A risky strategy from Rockets Esports on Game 5.
Yeah, and Jim Jim actually DRing the mind control over onto Bubs. So he doesn't have too many peels, but at the same time, Pacifier forced into that first ice block already. I completely agree with you, Sid. I think this is a really risky strategy coming out of Rockets Esports. They're basically leaving Pacifier to vent for himself, and we've already seen that he's struggling so much against this Grumble team. Maybe if they can get the IBF with a stun or something onto Volkovich, they can make a swap. As we actually see the smoke bomb.
Whoa, tons of damage following that up. Voltarius on the run, trying to hold on to his Touch of Karma as long as possible. Jim Jim connecting a huge heal, saving him in the nick of time. Those swaps to the Windwalker Monk do seem to be the surprise factor that Rockets Esports want to utilize here in game number 5. Jim Jim hugging the pillar, trying to avoid Pacifier's polymorphs, trying to force him to blink in. That way Volkovich and Voltarius can connect for free, basically. Looking for a Fist of Fury stun combo. Blind onto Jim Jim as they set up for the win onto Voltarius. Will he be able to touch a Karma? He sneaks it in between the stun DRs. Now Pacifier getting soloed by Volkovich, desperately trying to kite into the open, but Volkovich is just training him down below 40%, and Ratapai having a hard time topping him off with the Archangel even activated. He's used every cooldown to try and stay alive, getting caught into a paralyze. Spam polymorphs out. Volkovich's pressure was great there, forcing so much out from Ratapai.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that was the Rapture, the Archangel, the Pain Suppression, every single defensive cooldown on Ratapai. Now they swap it over onto Bubs. There's no real offensive cooldowns on Grumble for a little while, so we need to see Rockets Esports getting offensive here. Blind should be available shortly. Voltarius has no Touch of Karma. That is the win condition here for Rockets.
I mean, look at this. Volkovich is literally soloing Pacifier. He's like the Terminator walking at him, gripping him back, looking to take him out with a double Fist of Fury. Will they be able to get any counter pressure? Pacifier forced into his second ice block. This is looking better and better for Grumble. Voltarius trying to pressure the Vim and Vigor off of Ratapai. I like that during the ice block. Get rid of the bonus healing. Pacifier looking for a desperate swap kill. Will he find the burst? Voltarius portals back to the pillar. Jim Jim connects the Guardian. That should be more than enough to keep Voltarius alive in this position. Good defensive play. Double fear up from Ratapai. Voltarius still in a 3v1. Will he be able to survive? Getting penance down by Ratapai. Looks like he will be able to stay alive. Now trying to get aggressive. Moving over to Ratapai. Trying to connect onto Pacifier. Misses the leg sweep. Unfortunately, that leg sweep could have been the trinket or maybe the kill. They get the trinket with the Fist of Fury. Pacifier sitting inside of the barrier. They're going to get coned away. Grip over under Ratapai. Trying to deflect the fear potentially. Voltarius getting grip back to safety. He's going to retreat back into the room, seeing that Bubs has initialized a crowd control chain. Pacifier is unable to follow it up. Bubs is trying to solo Voltarius in the room. Will he be able to find the kill? Voltarius deflects it with a Fist of Fury, allowing Jim Jim time to reconnect some heals. Trades out Ray of Hope and kind of a preemptive move there. Ray of Hope will pause damage and allow Jim Jim time to top him off, as it does, but that's a major cooldown to no longer have available for another minute. Ratapai moves in, lands the double fear. Voltarius portals for the heal, immediately retreats away, trying to line of sight Pacifier and CC Bubs at the same time. Voltarius doing a great job in these 2v1 scenarios. Now reversing for the kill. Double Fist of Fury to follow it up. Stun over to Ratapai. Ratapai trinkets out. They follow it up with another one. And Rockets Esports going to be going down in series number 1. Grumble out of nowhere.
Yeah, such a good setup from Voltarius.
In the tournament, it's going to be stepping in on Discipline Priest. Northern will be playing Rogue Mage Priest against Blind Faith's main card, Feral Druid, Marksmanship Hunter. Can Blind Faith keep up their aggression and pressure to force Raikou away? It looks like Zuniaki is just charging in across the map. A little bit strange. He's going to get in a good position to start off with a Psychic Scream. Waz and Raikou back him up now. Moving in, there's the kidney shot, double stun combo. They're going to open up onto the Hunter, try and bait some cooldowns from him. Trying to find an aspect of the turtle early on. They get his exhilaration. The big heal is now gone. He's looking to try and retreat away as Raikou and Waz have pulled both of their major offensive cooldowns. Mozzarella sitting through a pole polymorph. They swap over to Cassidy. Immediately forces survival instincts. Barely hanging on 30%. Raikou channeling a swap over to Dizio. More frost bolts are flying. Blind is now faded with 1 second remaining. Mozzarella in a hard position, spamming out those radiances, trying to keep his team topped. Cassidy trying to pull off a swap to Raikou with his incarnation rolling. Trying to chase him down. Unable to connect. Raikou blinking behind the pillars. Looking to land a polymorph. Not able to find it just yet. Cassidy is stabilized, Dizio is stabilized, Mozzarella doing a good job through the initial pressure, but another polymorph lands and it could easily be the end of the match. Blind Faith getting some momentum, Raikou down to half, Zuniaki with no defensive cooldowns. This could easily be an ice block if he gets Mass Dispelled on it. It could be devastating. Mozzarella looking for it, finds the Mass Dispel. Raikou down to half, gets caught into a bash, and finally Blind Faith have some pressure.
Yeah, but Zuniaki used everything so offensively at the start, now caught into the full main. This could be big trouble. Temporal Shield from Raikou should be enough to keep him alive here. They're trying to cross over the crowd control. Full smoke bomb onto Cassidy. This could be huge trouble.
Yeah, the smoke bomb has been dropped, but Raikou is still the one in trouble. Zuniaki getting interrupted on his heel. 10% remaining. Zuniaki life grips him, but Cassidy interrupts him. Pressure now in favor of both teams as Dizio dips dangerously low. Waz on half. Fear landed. Raikou gets stunned. Waz trying to retreat away, maybe put a stun onto Dizio. Aim shot after aim shot. Raikou cannot tank too many more of those aim shots. He's going to jump out of line of sight. Trying to avoid the pressure. They have decent damage on Cassidy and Dizio. That DR'd stun, though, could cost them a kill, forcing Raikou into his second block. This could easily be the end of the match. They Mass Dispel the block. Raikou gets taken out, and Blind Faith with an upset take Northern out in game number 1.
Is it?
Matt Pagel taking a break, fishing off in the corner as both of these teams begin to pummel each other to death. Raikou switching over to Fire gives him more defense and more crowd control. Will that be enough to finally push Blind Faith over? We are about to find out. Dizio dropping a flare down, getting combat. Zuniaki once again is just charging across the map. Waz is trying to find Cassidy in stealth. Cassidy sprinting over, looking for a stun over onto Raikou, starting the fight off very aggressive. He's overextended behind the pillar, and now Waz is trying to punish him for this overextension. Stun locking him behind the pillar. Mozzarella sitting through a full polymorph, and Cassidy could easily just fall in the first seconds of the match, barely hanging on. Mozzarella had to blow a lot of cooldowns, and Cassidy knows they have to go all or nothing at this point if they want to find the kill. They're so far behind. They're looking for that cauterize. They get the block. Can Mozzarella land the Mass Dispel? Not even really attempting it here. Waz moving over, maybe looking for a kidney shot. Raikou cancels the block, looking to blink back over. Does land a counter spell on Mozzarella, looking for a polymorph, but Raikou is still getting pressured. Zuniaki needs to keep his cool here. Incarnation is still up. True shot has been popped. Aim shot after aim shot. Waz peels him away. Drops the smoke bomb to save Raikou. Now a full polymorph has been landed. Zuniaki positioning to land a Psychic Scream out of this if Raikou can't follow it up. Dizio in trouble. Trades out the aspect of the turtle. Double fear landed up from Zuniaki. I can imagine him screaming at this point. Dizio in trouble. Down below half. Waz swaps over to Cassidy. Pressure onto 2 players. Mozzarella struggling to keep them alive. Raikou hiding behind the pillar as Zuniaki sits through a full trap. Good defensive positioning from Raikou, but Mozzarella moves in. Cassidy moves over to Zuniaki, looking to stun out of the trap. Zuniaki trinkets out of that. They swap to Dizio. No defensive cooldowns. Half blind. Gets trinketed by Mozzarella. Barely hanging on at 50%. He manages to survive. Now Dizio needs to turn the pressure around. Raikou blinks in the middle of the map. A risky play against a marksmanship hunter. If Dizio can get some casts off, he's looking for a Wyvern Sting. Lands that crowd control. Now needs to push on top of Raikou. Raikou is still in the middle of the map. He's still in a lot of trouble. Down to 2%. A trap now landed onto Zuniaki. Raikou trying to blink away from Cassidy. Will he be able to stay alive? Waz is trying to peel him. He's so dangerously low. Zuniaki gets interrupted. Raikou barely hanging on by the skin of his teeth, and now Dizio in trouble.
Yeah, Dizio could easily go down here. He purges the shield. Beautiful play. Can they get anything else over onto Realza? It doesn't look like it quite. The penance coming out desperately. Barrier still available. Greedy hold there. We see Temporal Shield now over onto Raikou. Should be able to top himself. Zuniaki's trinket is available. Northern definitely still ahead in this game. If they can just get some crowd control over onto Realza. He does have his trinket available once again, but Dizio has nothing left.
Yeah, a full kidney shot has been landed as Raikou secures what could be the last polymorph. 3-on-1. Dizio in the middle of the map, and Raikou will take him out. Lights Faith connects at the last second. How did he stay alive? He lands the full fear now into Mozzarella. Dizio still alive, bursting shots away. Waz, but how much longer can he pull off this miracle? Cassidy stuns Waz away. Dizio hangs on, barely staying alive. Mozzarella gets counterspelled on his heel. Dizio disengages back to the pillar. I have no idea how he's still alive. Waz can't believe it. He's trying to chase him back behind the pillar. Stuns up Mozzarella into a full polymorph. Another 3-on-2 situation. And Dizio, will you make it out of this one? Meteor connects and completely crushes him. Northern tying the series up 1-1.
So many greedy plays on Blind Faith that game. Firstly, no trinket on Cassidy in the start made Mozzarella pop every single...
To game number 3 between Northern and Blind Faith.
Yep, Blackrock Hold Arena, a great map set up by Blind Faith. Can Northern outperform their opponents here on game number 3? We're about to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see once again Zuniaki, one of the most offensive members of his team. He needs to be pushing in onto Realza so that when they get that opening kidney shot from Waz, which you can see him looking for, they're able to get the fear off of that into the polymorphs. That's where their pressure starts, and here it goes.
Yeah, it looks like they want to pull the trigger right away. Cassidy with a preemptive wall has forced Northern to switch targets. They're going going to immediately go after Dizio. Feint deathing at 30% and kiting away from Waz, but a full fear has secured the aspect of the turtle, and Northern are in a dominating position as they make a swap to Cassidy, immediately trinketing out to deny the smoke bomb pressure, trying to restabilize. They need counter pressure. They have to get a nice block with this full trap landed. Will they have the damage to find it? Raikou has managed to avoid death. They're going to use blind defensively onto Cassidy. That will deny the incarnation pressure. Waz needs to look to maybe get a sap. He lands the sap. That's going to lock Cassidy out of the match and allow Raikou to breathe completely easy. Dizio getting pressured. He could be overextending. He needs to try and get behind the pillar. Gets caught into a ring of frost. Nothing left for him. Mozzarella trinkets into a fear. Good follow-up by Zuniaki. Stun on Cassidy. 3-on-1. Dizio trying to stay alive once again. Will he be able to pull it off? Lands a full trap. Looking for some counter pressure. Any semblance would be amazing for him, but he's not finding it. Still below 50% HP. Mozzarella doing a great job to pick him up. Life grips him back to the pillar. Cassie leaps in for a stun, but there's going to be no follow-up for that stun. Raikou now getting stunned, but Northern in a great position. 2 blocks available. Dizio with nothing left. He's on 10% the entire match. Waz looking to finish this. Lands a step kick onto Rilza. Moves immediately back to Dizio. A counterspell into a full fear, and Northern are on fire. 3-on-1. Dizio looking to get taken out, and Northern claim match number 3, and this is the Northern that we expect to see here today.
Yeah.
Ride. That game was really, really good from Northern. They had a lot of crowd control. That burst was insane, and really, Blind Faith did get a really optimal opener in game number 4 and close out this series.
Yep, Tana being swapped in. I can imagine that they're going to be focusing more on surviving. Whenever we see Tana in the arena, it means that Blind Faith are looking for a long game. Earthshield is going to be very important, as pointed out by Vinruki and Zico. Tana basically needs to predict who will the target be. He has Earthshield on himself right now. Waz sees that. He stuns Tana for Raikou to follow up with a polymorph. Cassidy could have interrupted that. That was a bit of a dropped play there. That's going to put a lot of pressure onto Dizio to force him to kite away. They swap to Cassidy. He disengages into a double fear. Great positioning from Zuniaki. Cassidy caught in a frozen orb. Raikou looking to follow up, maybe out of that fear. Not able to find it just yet. Cassidy trades on survival instincts, immediately retreats back to the pillar to force Raikou out. Dizio now trying to get in line of sight of Raikou. A couple aim shots could be a block if he can force them out. One aim shot connects over to Raikou. Pre-paint suppression does buy him the time to not have to block. They do blind the incarnation into a sap, a safe play. Cassidy not falling for the bait and trinketing. So it's not really leaving an opening for Northern. They're going to go on to Cassidy regardless of his trinket or not. He does use his survival instincts very early on to reduce the incoming pressure. Tana sitting through a long crowd control chain, basically 3-on-1. They drop the smoke bomb. Ebon Bolt being channeled. Raikou blinks into safety to connect the flurry. Combo out, and Cassidy hangs on 1% HP as they reverse it towards Raikou. Spirit Link gets traded out. Raikou trying to retreat away as Dizio basically solos him. Cassidy moves in, forces the first block. We've come to a bit of a standstill at this point, but with Spirit Link out of the way, no walls for Cassidy. Anyone's an easy target. They swap to Tana, immediately erases HP bar, barely activates Astral Shift in time, needs to get some casted heals out, barely squeaks in a healing surge, double disorient out from Dizio, buying Tana time to get these healing surges out to barely stay alive as they land the Wyvern Sting. They need a good crowd control chain on the Zuniaki, but they break it early, and they wind up in a triple fear. Now Cassidy in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see the health pause are moving a lot slower on the side of Blind Faith. Cassidy dropping very, very low right now. Tana still has that Spirit Link available, but he's caught into the full Ring of Frost. This could easily be the game. Raikou being lined by Cassidy though, so well played by him. He's going to avoid a lot of that damage. Bear Form should stop him from diving to Raikou,
I don't know, man.
but it's not going to be enough. Northern able to take the series 3-1, and they really found their stride after game 1. They looked a lot stronger, suddenly in game 3, and now game...
Dominate. Casters, take it away.
Yeah, here we go in the Grand Arena. We're halfway through the tournament today. This is the 3rd series. Both teams evenly matched. Arcane Assassination as the choice for making a movie. A bit of an unorthodox setup from Rogue Mage. The Arcane Mage will be able to avoid damage quite easily as they have access to so many blinks already blinking away and kiting both Cervantes and Jamie. Blind has been used into a full sap 3v1 onto Cervantes. He seems to be tanking it out all right with that anti-magic shell for now. Pry is just sapping Lian over and over. They go for the grip double leg sweep, but that does force them into a double fear situation. Everybody in crowd control. Lian forced to trinket. Cervantes on 10%, barely hangs on with the anti-magic zone, deflecting the damage, but actually gets knocked out of it by Chaz. A cheeky move by him as he is trying to retreat back to the pillar. Emo has decided to go all aggro. It's a healer race at this point. Pride training down Lian in the backline. Cervantes trying to go after Chaz, but Chaz is fully recovered. Lian seems to be the one that's struggling.
Yeah, Lian definitely has the hardest job in this matchup because not only can he not be caught outside of bear form in Prey's stuns, he also has to heal Cervantes through arcane damage. As you can see, Maro has a lot of mobility. He's able to kite away from Cervantes a lot, which means he's getting out a lot of DPS. It's very hard for Lian, and he's definitely the healer falling behind at this moment.
Yeah, and with this split DPS, with Pride training down Lian, it means that there's no cleave pressure going out that Chaz needs to deal with. So this split strategy is going to get them pressure early on, but it is costing Chaz's mana. Lian bashing Pride in the backline, cycloning him out. Pride decides to trinket aggressively, wants to put the gas pedal down. Cervantes down below half, trying to connect, but still out in the open. Chaz goes for an offensive Light's Wrath into Penance combo. Cervantes AMS's. Pride catches Lian out of form. This could easily be the end of the match. Jamie pulls back to try and peel him away. Lian barely stays alive by the skin of his teeth. War Stomp on Pride, trying to avoid the interrupts, but he just can't deal with the pressure. Arcane missiles are channeling through. Lian hanging on by a thread. Vortex is put down. Lian barely hangs on. Will survive behind the pillar. A very close call. If another situation like that arises in the next 20 seconds, it could be the end of the match. Pride doesn't catch him out of form. That's going to force Maru into an ice block, actually, as Emo reversed the pressure.
Yeah, such a close moment there for Emo, but Lian perfectly, as you said, barely surviving using that bear form. Beautiful choice of words by you there, but Cervantes is still in a little bit of trouble. They have forced the one ice block on Maro though. Bear in mind, as Arcane, you don't have Cauterize, you don't have Cold Snap, so that's the big defensive cooldown. Chaz's mana also is definitely a telling story of this game.
Yeah, they use leg sweep onto the Priest for crowd control and Fists of Fury on Maru, locking both players in stuns and getting them some momentum here on Maru down to half. Lian gets caught out of form in line of sight of Maru, immediately trinkets out, realizing that situation was dire. They used Arcane Power and Vendetta, but now Maru may have overextended. He displaces back, trying to blink into the open. He wants to kite the melee and avoid their pressure. Now blinking back in. Jamie tries to portal get on top, not able to reconnect. Lian just getting trained down, uses the Ursul's Vortex so he can line of sight, and Pride will get pulled back if he attempts to shadow step. Cervantes now getting soloed by Maru. He does not care, just charging in recklessly. Arcane Barrage and 10% AMS's. Cross CC out from making a movie. This blind into sap could end the match. Cervantes avoids the pressure out of line of sight. They don't get the sap. Jamie peels it away. They go for kidney shot instead. Paralyzed denies it, but Maru is getting soloed, or Cervantes is getting soloed by the Disc Priest and the Arcane Mage at the moment. Barely hangs on. Lian uses Iron Bark. That should be enough to stabilize him. That's going to force Pride to swap to Lian, try and pressure him. Maru, though, in trouble with no Icebox available. Chaz running low on mana, trades out Pain Suppression. Still anyone's game at this point. Constantly back and forth. Jamie needs to set up the all-in on Maru. There's no block. There's no trinket. They have a great opportunity. Touch of Death has been committed. Maru needs to be careful. Blinks back to Chaz's side. Gets interrupted. In the meantime, Pride may need to come back and peel. He's trying to solo the healer. It's a race to the finish. Who will fall first? Maru blinking back to the middle. Cervantes marching after him, but he's low as well. It looks like both teams are going to be stabilizing. Now Emo starting to fall behind with Lian at half as well as Cervantes. Maru recovering. Chaz, though, his mana is almost tapped. That's going to be an advantage to Emo. You still can't predict it at this point.
What a beautiful play there by Lian. We saw Vendetta committed. He Ursul's Vortex Pride, then he blinked behind the pillar. So Pride, no way of connecting to him, and now that cooldown is wasted. Chaz is down to about 10%. There is the potential for them to get the kill soon, but if this game goes on another minute, you feel like Emo's really pushing ahead. Lian's trinkets up in about 10 seconds. AMS is used, and Maru is in a lot of trouble.
Ooh, nice displace from Maru. Avoids the pressure easily. Cervantes and Jamie trying to reconnect. Flying Serpent Kick. Maru blinks away from that. Channeling out the Arcane Missiles, trying to build some spread pressure as Pry is still just training down Lian. Maru in trouble. Life Grip from Chaz buys him a couple of seconds. They catch Lian into the stun, but Maru is the one that's low. Will he be able to survive? They grip him back to center field. Maru blinks again, looking for the defensive polymorphs on Jamie, trying to stall out the fight, but Chaz is running on fumes. No mana left. Maru with no ice blocks on 30%, just spamming out crowd control. But even with this crowd control, they have no mana to heal the damage back. Lian is sitting comfortable, has almost full, and Maru is in trouble. Paralyzed on Chaz. Maru blinking once again. If they can connect for any amount of time, he will fall. Maru just kiting like a god to avoid the pressure as long as he can. Cervantes has had enough. He grips Maru back. Does Maru have a way to escape? In the meantime, Pry has sapped Lian. They have decent pressure on Cervantes. Cervantes is not going to overextend. He mind controls them out of the anti-magic zone. If Maru can line up some missiles out of that mind control, Cervantes could be in trouble. There go the missiles up from Maru. Lots of damage. AMS at 5%. Will Maru be able to survive to kill Cervantes? Chaz has no mana left. If they can pull this off, it'd be a miracle.
Yeah, I don't know if they can, though. It looks like Emo are just so devastating. Lian had to trade out his trinket, so there is the potential there. You can see the artifact from him should be enough to put some more health back onto the bar of Cervantes. Vendetta coming out, not achieving too much. Actually, Ice Block almost available once again for Maru, so he's almost survived long enough. And I think even if you're new to WoW Arena, you can see why Arcane is so frustrating.
Lian getting caught out of form. Missiles are being channeled, and Maru looks for the kill. Maru is low as well. Could be a cross kill. Maru on 2%, blinking away.
Ice
Penance
block
from Chaz isn't enough. Maru stays alive. Lian stays alive. Ice Block is now available. That will immune Maru to damage. Lian has survived though as well. That was their only opportunity to find a kill. Unless Maru can basically solo Cervantes, they have no other opportunities. Jamie stuns Maru. Maru trinkets into another stun. Good follow-up. They grip Maru, but not too far away. Pry is going to have to come back and save his team. Cervantes uses Icebound Fortitude. He is getting low as well. Could they find the opportunity to kill the Death Knight? Get Maru 1v1 Cervantes. Will they find it? Dipping lower and lower. Anti-magic shell. Maru blinks away once again. Polymorphs the Mug. Lian is still getting soloed by Pry this entire game. He's not able to get his Vim and Vigor, and he's not able to get the 20% bonus healing. Maru going for Mark of Alunith. They have to get a kill with this Mark of Alunith on the Cervantes. Missiles are being channeled. Cervantes retreats back to the pillar. Maru blinks on top of him. One barrage could find the kill if Cervantes gets in line of sight. Yes, barrage connects and making a movie. Pull off a miracle.
So close. These teams are so evenly matched here, but Emo was the team that you gave the favor to based off of compositions. What exactly went down in this blind pick, Zico?
Making a movie pulled off a bit of a miracle, I would have to say. That was still very close. So on a favored map for Emo, this is going to be risky. Maru and Chaz in the back line, baiting Cervantes and Jamie into the open. Palmer landed already onto Jamie, and Lian can't dispel that. He overextended. Now a blind catches Lian out of form. If they can get a stun lock out of this blind, I think he's going to sap him. Just let the hots fall off on as many targets as possible, then open up for an all-in kidney shot Vendetta, I would imagine, from Pry here very shortly. Looking for more sap. Sap again. Maru trying to 1v1 Cervantes, and it's going to be that 1v1v1 situation again, where Pry tries to take on Lian, and Maru takes on Cervantes. The kidney shot has been landed. Pry does not go for the all-in. He gets paralyzed away. Good peels. Chaz now getting opened up on by Emo. They're looking for more aggressive strategy onto the healer. Cervantes is trying to train him down. Jamie trying to reconnect with Serenity, rolling on over. Lian trying to catch up with his team so he can support him. I definitely think Lian needs to bring Pry to the Fists of Furies and the leg sweeps so they can get the Rogue stunned off himself. If he tries to 1v1 him, he's almost never going to win that. He is trying to pull him back, but Lian seems to be struggling.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what Zico said in the pre-match as well. Maru, like, we got the blind into the saps on Lian, but Maru he just jumped away. He didn't really try and commit damage. I think that was a great opportunity for them to use that arcane power, get some big cooldowns out of Lian. As it stands, however, he does still have his trinket, high mana. You can see once again the spread pressure is happening though, as Maru's putting actually a fair bit of damage into Lian. Vendetta is committed.
Yeah, Lian is in a bit of danger. He's traded out Barkskin and Ironbark, so both of his defensive cooldowns at the same time because Pry is putting on so much pressure, catches him into a full kidney shot. If Maru can connect any damage whatsoever, Lian could be in devastating amount of trouble. Maru's just trying to control the DPS and peel for Chaz. Doesn't want to overextend, but that means Lian goes for a bash. It actually gets interrupted. Nice offensive trinket from Pry. I'm surprised to see Maru not blink on top of Lian at any point during this. He's just trying to keep Chaz alive. Pain suppression has been traded out, and Emo are going all in for a healer race down. They seem to be doing all right, but Chaz deflects, pain suppression used. Lian now caught into a stun. Cervantes was already low. Jamie's going to peel the rogue away, but that means Chaz can commit some damage with that Light's Wrath Penance combo. Lian immediately retreats back behind the box. Does not want to be getting attacked by Chaz's smites whatsoever. Maru just blinking back as well, looking to bait Jamie and Cervantes into the open. I really dislike that they're just ignoring Pry. They're just letting him do whatever he wants to Lian, and he's not able to deal with it too easily. I would love to see a swap to the rogue behind the pillar. Pry has no trinket. It could be a good opportunity.
Yeah, I think one of the big advantages of hitting Maru is you are forcing those blinks defensively, which means he is getting less damage onto Lian. When they do get these kidney shots, Lian's able to line of sight. Maru doesn't have so much ability to reach the healer. So that's the big advantage of hitting this arcane mage, right? But at the same time, you're doing less damage. He's very mobile. Cervantes is struggling to reach his target, but their goal is to win on mana. You can see Chaz already down to about 40%. Lian full, but he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Vendetta has been committed by Pry as well as arcane power from Maru. Lian is just hiding behind the boxes, buying himself a little bit of time to recover. Will he be able to survive? Maru blinks in on top of Lian. Missile combo, trying to take him out. Supporting Pry quite well. Chaz has stabilized his mana, though. Not looking too great. He's trying to reposition far away, but if he goes behind this box, he will line of sight Maru. He needs to go back into the open. He knows that. And this is what we're talking about. Chaz's positioning. Look at that. Sets up a perfect knockback and can escape to the other side of the map. Sick positioning from Chaz. Lian caught into another stun. Maru looking to polymorph Jamie. 3 on to 1. Can Maru find the kill? Lian managed
manages to stabilize throughout the stun. Not enough damage to take him out. Cervantes has defensive cooldowns. He should be feeling pretty comfy in this position to get aggressive, but Maro is just so slippery. He can't stay on target. He's going to retreat back to the pillar with Lian, but they stack up for a triple fear potentially from Chaz. I do not think they should stay on top of him this long. Fist of Fury being committed now. Cervantes getting bursted. Will he fall to the pressure? Lian trying to get in line of sight. They're going for a healer race against Chaz once again. They walk into a double fear. Good positioning from Chaz. Now behind the pillar, able to top himself off. Lian trying to kite across the map, but now he's in the open. He displaces right back to the box. You do not want to be in the open against this Arcane Mage. You will get torn apart.
Yeah, and this is a bit of a dangerous situation. You can see Vendetta is available, Arcane Power as well. There's no AMS and no Iron Bark for Cervantes. They could commit to him a little bit here. Lian does have the Trinket available, though. It looks like they're going to be able to stabilize just a little bit more. IBF, of course, also available, and the Anti-Magic Zone, so Cervantes is going to be trading that out. And that's another thing that we've been looking for as well. Using that purple bubble, the Anti-Magic Zone, in exchange for the Arcane Power, mitigates a lot of that damage coming out of Maro on his offensive cooldowns.
Yeah, and I think we're going back to the 1v1v1 situation. Maro's trying to solo Cervantes, and Pry is trying to solo Lian and create a split pressure situation. Another knockback from Chaz. Chaz playing the map out pretty well with that talent choice. He's now kiting down out of line of sight, trying to bait Lian into the open. Lian repositions on the other side, but Chaz is low on health and low on mana and running out of time. He's just getting crushed. Jamie gets polymorphed away. Cervantes Icebound Fortitudes aggressively to find the kill. Interrupts the Shadowman. Can they interrupt the Clarity? They do. Double interrupt. Cervantes is soloing Chaz. Grips the next heal. Tries to stun, but he misses the stun by a second. They still have the damage to take him out. And Emo with a nice setup swap there to Chaz. Cervantes with some clutch interrupts find a kill. We're tying this series up 1-1.
Yeah, that wasn't even the touch of death coming out of Jamie. Now he has it available, so they had an overkill in that game. And Emo finding their stride a little bit, getting more aggressive. But I know what Sicko's going to say after this game, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be that Maro could have been much more offensive in this one.
We're seconds away from the gates opening on Tolvaron Arena. 1-1. We got a series on our hands. Both teams so evenly matched. Who is going to come out ahead? Maro just jumps right into the fight. Not going to be going for an invisibility. Normally, Rogue Mage likes to get a sneak attack, but Maro recklessly charges in, costing him a trinket, maybe his life. Huge amounts of pressure coming out from Emo early on as Chaz tries to cover up that overconfident mistake. They managed to recover and survive, but a couple more overextensions like that will cost them the match.
Yeah, absolutely. They get the trinket, they get the Archangel there from Chaz. So not too many, not too hard punishment. Of course, as soon as Maro did get out of that stun lock and the Arcane Torrent, he was able to blink away. We actually see a fair bit of damage. Even the the trinket coming out of Lian there, Vendetta was committed. Arcane Power still available for Maro though, so immediately an opening for making a movie.
Yeah, Pride trying to create that split pressure on Lian, while Maro solos Cervantes in the middle of the map. So Chaz and Maro are basically 2v2ing Jamie and Cervantes, and Pride is 1v1ing Lian behind the pillar in the back line. Maro seems to be playing more mobile, at least on this map. He's got a lot of space. It's difficult for Cervantes and Jamie to reconnect. I'd love for him to attack Lian in this position. He's out in the open on this corner, but Maro just doesn't care. He's trying to solo Cervantes. Lian blinks to the opposite pillar, knowing that his team is overextending, but Cervantes is really feeling the heat. Huge amounts of damage coming in from Maro and Chaz, forcing the anti-magic zone out. They're trying to build some pressure on Maro as well. Lian dips low, bashes Pride. Pride trinket Cloak of Shadows to avoid any crowd control, trying to reconnect. Everybody is low on the side of Emo. Lian with no defensive cooldowns in a hard position to try and recover. If they can get any more pressure on Cervantes, he could easily fall in this position. Maro could easily blink back to the center, gets gripped back to the center instead. That's going to force them to swap to Pride. And I think these swaps on the big map are going to be very important for Emo. If they just let Pride do whatever he wants, Lian will struggle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's ideal for Emo to be going on Pride, but what choice do they have? This is such a big map. When Cervantes does commit to Maro, he can't do what he was doing on the other maps where he's just pulling away when he doesn't have that anti-magic zone. Instead, he's kind of committed to this point where Maro can just tunnel damage into him over and over, and that is such a rough spot to be in, not only for him, but of course for Lian, who has to deal with Pride tunneling him down, that assassination rogue. Arcane Power and Vendetta are still available. His trinket should be coming up soon, but it's such a difficult task for the rest of Druid. You can see he's standing in line of sight of Maro to even heal, and that means Maro could get more damage onto him as well.
All right, so Cervantes and Jamie, their aggression on Chaz was thwarted away. That means that Maro and Chaz are going to be in the dominating position here. They're getting kited away from Lian. Lian is trying to reconnect, double fear. Maro channeling out those arcane missiles. Huge amounts of pressure on Cervantes as he barely stays alive. Lian sitting through a stun combo, and Cervantes could easily fall. And Maro finds the kill. Great map selection from Making a Movie, keeping their space and really keeping the gas pedal down. Maro played that excellently. their 2v2 setup there, as it would seem. So there's going to be a lot of burst early on from him. Maro needs to deflect it with some good kiting and good positioning. This could be it, though. Runes of Lordaeron was a risky pick. Sylvanas charging in. Maro, once again, is not going for the invis. He's just blinking on top of his opponents. Maro is crazy. What is he doing right now? He could easily throw the match if he's too aggressive. He gets stunned. Sylvanas and Jamie trying to punish that aggressive positioning. Lian's blind ended up breaking, so that's a great start for Lian. He's going to get the defensive cooldowns out early on and allow his team to stay aggressive.
Yeah, and talking about risky picks, Chaz has also gone for the adaptation in this game, so that's quite a reasonable pick against Emo because, of course, they have a lot of these long cooldown stuns or in-caps coming out of Jamie, so that it should be quite good value, but at the same time that has that risk that you can't control it, right? It automatically procs, so when Maro really needs it, Chaz's break might be down. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, Jamie using that Metamorphosis to reconnect towards Maro, but Cervantes waddling his way over on that Death Knight, trying to do his best to get as much range damage out as he can, not really finding it. Lian is getting pressured by Pry, not nearly as much though, and the Imprison is going to deny any pressure further on from here. Pry locked up. Chaz getting interrupted. Lands a double fear. Maro bursts off of it. Sylvanas line of sights with that Wraith Walk, but he walks right into Pry's clutches. Now Pry can get some bleeds up. That was basically for free. Maro's on top of Lian. Lian does not like that. Displaces away. Jamie lands a Chaos Nova. Maro trinkets out, blinks away, channels some missiles, gets gripped on the missiles. Nice death grip. Interrupting arcane missiles is super important. That's the big burst damage for an arcane mage. If they can keep interrupting those instantly. Lian, though, getting caught out of form. Pry looking for the solo kill, but once again gets imprisoned away by Jamie. But Maro soloing Cervantes in midfield. Lian forced to overlap cooldowns. AMS and Ironbark in the same attempt. This is going to leave an opening. Making a move, he has arcane power available. Maro could basically destroy Cervantes in a matter of seconds if Cervantes is not careful in these moments.
Yeah, we've seen a few mistakes from Emo already this game. They've overlapped stuns once or twice. Now they overlap a few defensives, and absolutely that could leave an opening. You can't afford those mistakes at this high level. Maro dropping a bit. We can see the mana once again. Chaz down to about 40%, but it's really a question of where can Emo live long enough to punish that mana. We see the Bark Skin coming out from Lian now. Trinkets up in about 20 seconds, but like you say, arcane power and, of course, the cooldowns offensively from Pry are available. Here comes the arcane power. Here comes the Vendetta. Could be trouble for Emo.
Yeah, Lian is getting soloed by Pry. Maro blinks on top of him. Down on 2%. Lands the full stun. Darkness from Jamie protects Lian and keeps him alive. A very scary moment for Emo, but they stay in it a couple seconds longer. If they can stay alive, Chaz's mana is burning out. Maro kiting away. Cervantes is low. Lian trades out Ironbark, bashes Pry, looking for a Cyclone, but if Maro blinks on top of him and counterspells him, he goes for the Cyclone way too late. Pry lands the kick. Cervantes is still low. Chaz gets silenced. They go for a blind. Lian trinkets out a blind. That's going to leave an opening on him as a kill target. If Maro can blink on top of him for the next kidney shot, they could find the opportunity. Looks like Maro is just content to keep soloing Cervantes in midfield. Lian gets stunned out of form. Maro gets stunned at the same time. Chaz dispels that stun. Lian blinks away from Maro's displace. Well done. Good positioning from Lian as he is trying to recover. Vendetta available shortly. Arcane power up in about 30 seconds. That's going to be the last opportunity, I think, for making a movie to find a kill. They still have good opportunities, but they're going to need to get more aggressive. Cervantes has anti-magic shell. He has Icebound Fortitude. He's going to be very difficult to kill unless they can get those cooldowns right now. Will they find it? Maro trinkets out of the stun to try and get the damage out. Not finding enough. Pry gets stunned away. Cervantes is still low, though. Trades out anti-magic shell. Maro's got great pressure. Kiting excellently, blinking away from Jamie. Looks like they will ultimately now reconnect to Maro. Does he have a blink to get away? But they walk into the double fear. And I love that they're using the fears to kind of chain into the blinks later on. Finally, they connect with a stun. They grip Chaz in on the heel. Chaz's mana is starting to splinter out. How can he keep his team alive and find the kill? They pulled the miracle off in game number 1. Can they do it here on match point?
Yeah, making a movie definitely are the miracle workers. Of course, 2 of the guys in this roster, Pry and Chaz, were also in the Method roster that qualified to BlizzCon last year as 3 without No Lifer. Now Maro performing so well. He does have Ice Block available. Needs to be a bit careful. Runs straight out of that barrier. Good double fear coming out of Chaz, but he is completely
here come the missiles.
tapped on mana.
For the swap. Huge damage comes in, and anti-magic cell is way too late, and it's not enough. They pull off the miracle, and it looks like making a movie will be advancing 3-1. They're still playing it out, trying to find the kill on Maro. Chaz a completely oom. They can find the cross kill. He barely hangs on. The stun on Jamie buys him a couple seconds. Chaz is still completely out of mana. They're not giving up just yet. Chaz has stabilized reasonably. Jamie trying to charge over to reconnect. Can they 2v3 this situation? Double kick landed. Maro on half HP. Chaz in a hard situation. Cross kill potentially here for Emo. Maro barely staying alive. He does it. They find the cross kill. Chaz is still completely out of mana. Cervantes is out of cooldowns. They imprison Pry. They go for Chaz. Will they have enough time to find the kill? Cervantes is so low. I feel like making a move here is still going to take this, Adrian.
Yeah, it really looks like it. Chaz doesn't have any mana, but it's such a composition advantage. No breaks for the kidney shot means Cervantes will fall. Pry is a 2v2 master. Absolutely no problem securing that one. Making a movie take it 3-1.
Let's hear it for both Emo.
So, I mean, we'll see.
Well, let's see how they can do. The game is now underway. Gonna hand it over to the casters.
You can see both Corki and Reelzing already rotting down. Deathrun caught into that imprisonment by Kara. Nixie getting bashed up. Trying to slow down some of that damage is Deathrun's. But it looks like everyone on ABC is completely stable at this point in the game. Corki just sitting in the middle of the map trying to create some pressure, but Kara getting caught into the leg sweep, into the Fists of Fury, almost going down there. That wasn't even the Serenity coming out from Reelzing.
Yeah, neither the incarnation from Corki. Triple stun though from that death grip. Well played by ABC. Deathrun needs to recover here. Uses the Ascendance. There's a lot of AoE healing. Urban Shield Totem as well. So should be able to provide enough, but he doesn't win share. The Cyclone. Corki now in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he uses that Bark Skin way too late. This could be too little too late. Deathrun gets up the Spiritling Totem. It's killed off immediately. Corki down to 2% HP. How is he alive right now? Deathrun doing everything he can, but it's not enough. Ultimately, ABC will prevail in game number 1.
Yeah, fast-paced game, but ultimately life on both sides, which is what we want to see from managers. Of course, it can be very demotivating to lose a member, but these guys not out of the series just yet.
Definitely not out of the series. I think that is going...
He was happy, and that's one of the things that matters.
Well, let's see if that happiness can translate into a victory as the casters take this game 2 away.
What I think managers is going to want to do in this game is have Deathrun play extremely aggressive with those purges, so they have nothing to lose at this point. Push in, get aggressive, pop your offensive cooldowns. You can see Corki already committing that havoc, doing a lot of pressure over onto Nixie, and it's going to be interesting to see if Deathrun has the global cooldowns to actually get up those purges. As he gets swapped to, has to use that Astral Shift. He's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, lots of cooldowns coming out. He's able to hold on to the Spirit Link and the Ascendance though, so that's certainly a good thing. And this was the offensive cooldowns from Kara. We see Touch of Death from Reelzing now, but he's not really able to get too much done. I think it's quite difficult. They did get the Trinket on Asgraf. Maybe they can find an opportunity to catch him outside of their form, but this isn't the perfect composition for that. Maybe if they can get an in-cap onto him now, could be a perfect opportunity if they can get the stun off that, get some damage going. Yeah,
but Kara also getting very low. You can see the purges coming up from Deathrun, but he gets stunned up into another DR stun. Spiritling Totem has to be committed. Incapacitate over onto Asgarath. That Iron Bark's going to be fading from Kara as well, so he has to use that darkness as he is still low, not getting topped off.
Ooh.
But Deathrun also rotting down low. Everyone from managers in trouble, but they're still committing for that all-in kill onto Kara as he tries to kite away. Deathrun leaping up, trying to commit some more purges, incapacitate over onto Asgarath, but it looks like Kara has stabilized.
Yeah, look at Deathrun's mana. He used so much mana purging, and it's been working pretty well. He still looks like he's trying for it. Good win share over onto Asgarath. They really need to win this game soon. Triple DR Cyclone into the in-cap on Corki should deny a lot of the pressure, but he's really struggling to stabilize Kara. Asgarath max range now, should be able to provide some heals, and this could spell the end for managers.
Yeah, Kara just using his blur. That's going to be enough to keep him alive. Deathrun completely tapped on mana right now. ABC just has to survive, do damage, and they will eventually win. Corki trying to cut away. Still has his blur, still has that death from above, but ultimately Deathrun getting interrupted, trying his best to kite away. He gets gripped and stunned on his leap, and that should be it. ABC takes game number 2.
Here, one of the things that we mentioned though is that they were going to be able to pretty much play to the weakness of
Going to be much line of sight for either team. Look to see Kara and Nixie get really, really aggressive, making swaps over onto Deathrun. Corki looks like to be the target of choice very early on, but he actually pops his incarnation, so wants to get super aggressive right away, putting some damage over onto Kara as well as Nixie. Imprisonment over onto Asgarath. Nixie almost exploding. That's going to be that Blood Elf sounds. Luckily, AMS in time for Nixie, going to keep him alive, but now Deathrun's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Iron Bark, AMZ, all these cooldowns used by ABC, they just want to be on the safe side right now. Of course, Deathrun's had to use his Ascendance. He's already used the Urban Shield Totem. Now they can start to stabilize and get offensive here. Stun over onto Asgraf, though. Nixie's not out the woods yet.
Yeah, that is basically all of the offensive cooldowns coming in from managers. If Nixie can just live a little bit longer, but that's another full imprisonment over on Astronaut. He actually bark skin there, so he doesn't have that bark skin available. Still has Trinket. They might be able to make some sort of swap opportunity over onto him. Nixie rotting down still a little bit low, but now Death Run falling a little bit behind. And I mean, his main is a warrior, so these kind of situations where you're getting all clipped down and you have to pick yourself up can be very, very difficult. Corki getting bursted by the Apocalypse, not going to be able to survive, and ultimately ABC will defeat managers 3-0.
Yeah, one nice takeaway from this game, I really love watching Demon Hunters battle it out. It is so fun, like all these glaives flying around. It's actually really hard to track it, so these guys need to be quite on point and just to even hit each other in the first place. But well played, ABC. I don't think there was too many surprises or upsets there. But
what this new team can bring, it is free therapy on Nagrand Arena.
Ooh, and Walrick is actually going to be playing in the first game today, showcasing that Warlock. Facile showcasing the Marksmanship Hunter, Ret Paladin Hunter. Not the strongest composition in the meta, but it does deal a ton of damage. As you can see, Walrick's down to half HP, portaling back to Looney's side. Great positioning from the two of them, but this pressure is constant. Walrick is dangerously low. Looney trades out Ironbark. Walrick tries to reverse it with the Fell Lord, but he's dipping lower and lower. Vinruki, I don't know if he's going to make it out alive.
Yeah, he does not want to use that unending resolve. Committing that Trinket very early on with that Ironbark. And like Zico was saying, this team, they know they don't need to overuse cooldowns. Walrick's being maybe a little bit greedy there, but it's going to pay off. Still has that major defensive cooldown. And now the pressure's being turned around over onto Destiny. Can they get his bubble? Looks like his HP is stable using that pillar a little bit. Hexer has Earth Shield on him. He should be okay. It's going to be a Wyvern Sting over on the Looney. Walrick's taking a little bit of damage once again, but he has very good positioning, and he is ready to port away at any time.
Yeah, Hexer in the middle of the map getting caught and locked out on his heel, which means Destiny is in a dangerous position. Hexer decides to Trinket out of that stun, but regardless, that will be the Divine Shield procced from Destiny, losing that immunity to pressure. Now he's going to have to go in, all in for the kill. Now looking for a stun on Looney, trying to reconnect over onto Walrick. Walrick with no other way to escape is forced to trade out Unending Resolve and reduce the damage on himself. Looney constantly switching that efflorescence to try and boost the healing, but it's costing a lot of his mana. Both healers tied. Walrick's kiting back to the center of the map, setting up for a great portal, but Looney's not on his ports. Looney's trying to kite the Hunter and avoid crowd control. He can't line of sight the Wyvern Sting. Both the Warlock and the Ret Paladin are in a lot of trouble right now, but Destiny can't connect. Z-Pie's holding him down with those chains of ice. Destiny's dangerously low, trades out Blessing of Protection. Will it be enough to keep him alive? Spamming out those flash of lights. Hexer getting low. Spirit Link has been forced out, and Free Therapy have ran out of all of their major defenses. As long as Walrick can keep some safe space, this is looking clean for Enjoy Legion.
Yeah, Looney still has that Ironbark to fall back on as well. Once they connect to Walrick, Ironbark will be committed. Fell Lord has been used. Destiny in a lot of trouble with the Asphyxiate over onto Hexer. Destiny getting stunned up there. Can he get away? He just needs to survive a little bit longer, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Z-Pie connects, takes him down, and Enjoy Legion will take game number 1.
Enjoy Legion coming out, guns blazing.
Options against a Warlock, it is difficult to connect with that Chains of Ice getting spammed as well. Z-Pie controlling the entire team with Chains of Ice. Walrick has the distance. He's charging over to Facile, trying to stack them up for a potential Fell Lord. Facile disengages away, looking for crowd control. And Looney pre-gated the bursting shot, but he gets caught by the Wyvern Sting regardless, but Walrick portals back to the room. Destiny charging after him, looking for an early kill as this Hunter comp. They need to find a kill early. Walrick skates to Looney. Looney trades out Ironbark. That's going to deflect almost all of the pressure from Destiny. Facile played it patient. He held on to his True Shot aura. If he can connect that True Shot aura, he can find some big crits. Hexer, though, falling behind. Destiny at half. Facile at half. Nobody can connect to Walrick. He's almost untouchable. Stun combo onto Destiny. Vortex is down. Destiny trying to escape the Fell Lord, but Bubble gets procced. Destiny in trouble now for the rest of the match, basically.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Hexer got interrupted there, so Walrick's doing a good job with that. Bursting shot over onto Looney. Can they get the follow-up trap? They do. Now Walrick could be in a little bit of trouble, but he still has his port. He still has Unending Resolve. For Looney, but Destiny caught into a full Asphyxiate. He does not have any more outs. The only thing left is that Blessing of Protection, but unfortunately for him, Z-Pie and Walrus can attack through it.
Oh, Hexer is fake casting himself to death. He doesn't want to get interrupted, and he got mind frozen there. He finally gets to free cast. Gift of the Queen onto the entire team. Well-placed Gift of the Queen. It's going to top them off quite easily. His mana, though, not looking too good. Stun onto Destiny. Walrus in a great position. Thalkils connects. Entangling Root with Deep Root. Facile unable to get out of that.
side the other. Wyvern Sting denies the crowd control. Facile gets speared away. Walrick's in a commanding position. As soon as Fell Lord is available, 10 more seconds. I don't know how Destiny's going to survive. Hexer running on fumes. Everyone rotting down. And Joy Legion in a dominating position.
Yeah, Free Therapy, they do have that Avenging Wrath coming up in 6 seconds, and Walrick really only has that Ironbark. Full Hodge over onto Looney. He is playing Relentless, so he might have no way out. Destiny, can he connect the damage? He's in so much trouble. Avenging Wrath as well as that Blessing Protection and Spirit Link all forced, and now Walrick's already on the other side of the map. And Joy Legion just need to survive a little bit longer, and they are not going to be able to lose this game.
Yeah, Zeepai spamming out Chains of Ice. Destiny's trying to off-heal. He sees that Hexer's running low on mana, so Destiny's trying to heal his team a bit. Walrick's is in a little bit of trouble if Looney doesn't get the Iron Bark before the crowd control. He pre-Iron Barks, sees the incoming burst. Now we see the Curse of Fragility committed. Walrick's going for the kill. They know that Destiny is exposed. Hexer's completely out of mana. Looney sitting through a crowd control chain, though. They may have overextended. They need to get back to their portal. Walrick's has repositioned it at the tombstone on the side, hiding away from Destiny. Looney blinking back to his side, trying to get those hots up. They swap to Zeepai, burst him down to 10%. Looney struggling to recover, and suddenly Free Therapy might be able to pull off a free miracle. Will they find the damage to find the kill? Walrick's in the middle of the map, gets silenced by Facile. Destiny connects with that artifact, the Ashbringer tearing in. Looney recovers with his own artifact. Destiny stuns up the healer. Does Facile have the crowd control out of this stun? Goes for the bursting shot. Walrick's on the run, tries to portal back to the tombstone, but that is a full trap. Walrick needs to stay alive on his own. Sets up a new gateway for an easy escape. Hexer chasing Walrick, trying to lava burst him. Walrick's drained lifestone, gets interrupted on it. Looney has tree form just in the nick of time to start spam healing Walrick through the pressure. Even with tree form, Free Therapy are dealing out the pain, but at this point, Hexer's ran out of gas. Walrick's repositioned gateway allows him for an easy escape. Zeepai tearing in. What can you really do as Hexer in this position?
Yeah, Looney surprise tree form. He's sitting on that Iron Bark as well, so really Zeepai not in too much trouble at any time. Looney can use that defensive cooldown. Hexer completely tapped still. The Fell Lord committed. Destiny in a lot of trouble. They can keep up that damage. He tries to Divine Steed away, but he gets stunned up once again, but really not too much damage going to be forced over onto Destiny. He managed to survive. Zeepai grips him back in, though. Doesn't look like he's going to be taking too much damage. Looney now once again into that full trap.
Big Dow kills on Destiny there. Not enough to really push him over, though. Hexer's doing a great job healing on basically no mana. Gift of the Queen, a free heal, lands that, connects it to Destiny. It's going to trigger twice, buy him a couple more seconds to reconnect, but Walrick and Looney, they have all of the defensive cooldowns available. If they die at this point, it would be a throwaway. Do they have enough damage to punch through the Iron Bark? Walrick's down on 10%. Will Destiny find the kill? 5% health remaining. Walrick's hanging on by a thread, trying to stay in this fight as long as possible. Portal's back to safety. Destiny's Divine Shield available in a few seconds. He needs to stay alive a little bit longer. Will he be able to? Yes. Divine Shield saves him in the final seconds. Going to buy them another opportunity to push onto Walrick. They got through the defenses. Zeepai is low as well. Free Therapy could be in a position to win.
Yeah, True Shot's not going to be up for 45 seconds, though. Walrick's dipping down low, though. Looney does not have the healing to top him off. He gets CC'd once again into a full trap. How is Walrick going to survive? Destiny needs to be able to connect, but Zeepai's doing a great job healing right now. Throws Destiny into that full asphyxiate, crowd controlling him up. Hexer gets locked out once again. I do not know how Free Therapy is still alive. Hexer's been for the last couple minutes of this game.
Yeah, and it seems like this game is going to be closing fast. Destiny dipping lower and lower, and Hexer has nothing left. Just healing wave after healing wave to try and get Destiny to reconnect to interrupt the Talcus consumption. If this Talcus consumption goes up by Walrick, it could easily be the end of the match. They drop the Fell Lord, they look for the Wombo combo, but Destiny escaped with the Blessing of Protection. Now trying to Divine Steed back after Walrick's. Looney sitting through a trap. He's going to need to reconnect with Walrick. He's trying to cross the map. Has Iron Bark available. Needs to make sure he gets that before the crowd control chain starts. Spamming out those deep roots onto Destiny. Destiny with nothing left. How do they stay in the fight? Hexer has no mana. Trying to hang on by a thread. Walrick is dipping low. Looney starting to run out of mana. The damage is just too much. Walrick is getting pushed over. 5% remains. Gateson dies. And Free Therapy pull off a miracle staying alive that long. Oh, they're looking for the cross kill. Hexer still with no mana. Can Zeepai find the kill? Hexer running for his life. Destiny looking to take out Zeepai. Looney spam healing. They're still trying to play this out, but I think they're running out of steam. The damage from Destiny and Facile was so high on Runes of Lordaeron. Great map selection. Walrick had nowhere to escape.
Yeah, that really shows you how good Free Therapy is. I was going to say Walrick has some of the best kite.
I believe actually right now. Hexer charging across the map. He's actually the first man in. Usually your DPS run in first. He's going to pull back for a couple of seconds. The Chains of Ice from Zeepai controlling the whole team. Facile managed to get on top of Walrick, though. If he can land one of those bursting shot traps or a Wyvern Sting trap, that will initialize the crowd control. Not able to land it just yet. I think Facile was trying to bait the Shadow Meld He gates the bursting shot again. Facile crosses the map to land the trap, snags that in. He got spell reflected on the Hammer of Justice. Well done from Walrix. That's going to deny the kill easily. They might have to attack Looney. Looney in the center of the map. Destiny, though, getting pressured. Zeepai tearing in. Walrix in a great position to avoid damage. And basically, Walrix's entire goal is to stay out of line of sight of the Hunter, try and run Hexer out of mana, drag this fight on.
I like what Walrix is doing. He's putting pressure over on the Hexar. He's going to be dropping that Vim, reducing his healing by a lot. So if they can keep that pressure up, he's going to actually heal Destiny for a lot less as well. That is going to be the Ascendance coming in from Hexar. That should be the defensive cooldown they need to keep Destiny alive. Destiny now popping that Avenging Wrath, committing some damage over onto Walrix, but Looney trading out that Ironbark instantly. Destiny is the one that is in trouble right now. Walrix doing a good job once again kiting. Destiny cannot push in. This is not a situation you want to be in, not really accomplishing anything with your wings.
Here comes a foul kill from Walrix, trying to burst down Facile. Trades out the acceleration to heal that back up. Good reaction from Facile, disengaging away as well. Looking for Wyvern Sting. Does Looney land the Shadow Meld? No. Wyvern Sting lands full duration. Facile should be able to trap out of that, throws that across. Looney can't dodge it. Destiny's trying to run for a stun, but I think they should swap to Looney with the stun if they do, because Walrix is separated. Look at the positioning. Walrix is on the opposite side of the map of Looney, and Destiny is in a position where do I run at the healer and stun him, or do I run at the Warlock and attack him? He's in a rock and a hard place on Tolvaron Arena. Great positioning from Enjoy Legion. There's the Hammer of Justice. They're going to swap to Looney. They catch him out of bear form, try to burst him down real quick. He's going to blink back to the pillar. If they get another clean swap like that, they could find the kill. Luckily, like Zico was saying, Looney doesn't fall for baits. He held onto his bark skin. There weren't any major offensives, so if they managed to get a bark skin with that, it could have been devastating. Looney now playing Cyclone. Cyclone's Facile at low health, denies the heals from Hexer. Hexer, though, this match is doing great with his mana, just needs to pick his team back up in this position. Yeah, Facile rotting down low as well as Destiny right now. That is the full Wyvern Sting. Now Walrix needs to kite away. He instantly ports away, kiting away once again, really abusing Tolvaron Arena and these large pillars. You can see Zeepai just throwing out chains of ice on everyone over and over. Destiny not able to connect to his target. Hexer getting asphyxiated now. That is the Fell Lord. A lot of damage incoming over onto Destiny. He still has his bubble. Avenging Wrath actually almost up for him, so they can potentially turn around the pressure, but Looney has all the answers. He still has Ironbark. Walrix still has his unending resolve. Destiny pops the wings, trying to turn around some of this pressure. Bursting shot over onto Looney into potentially a full trap. Doesn't look like it's going to land. There's the full trap. Now they have an opportunity, but Walrix and Zeepai just line of sighting once again, and everyone from 3 Thou kills! Big Thou
down.
kills! Facile, oh, he aspect of the turtle right before it connected, and that would have easily taken him down. Cancels the turtle, looks for the counter pressure. Walrix needs to start running away. He does so instantly. You ask Walrix to run, he will answer yes every time. He does get gripped away, but he had Freedom activated. That might have been a waste of a death grip there. He portals away from the reconnect. Destiny chasing after him, but not able to find the target. Hexer dipping low. Zeepai's damage is really starting to sink in. Walrix is getting to free cast. You do not want to watch a free casting Walrix, and Hexer's getting soloed behind the pillar. Barely hangs on there with a couple healing surges. They stun up Looney. They're trying to chase down Walrix, but Zeepai's peeling them away with those chains of ice. Facile trying to disengage and reconnect. Walrix stuns up Destiny, not able to get to him just yet, and Walrix is basically playing with his food at this point. Free therapy, unable to get anything done.
Yeah, Hexer does have that Ascendance, though, so he can always fall back on that as his team is rotting down. He gets locked out. Destiny could be in a little bit of trouble, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to commit too much damage right now. He's caught into the middle of the map. Walrix casting Shadow Bolt after Shadow Bolt over onto Destiny. He's rotting down. He's trying to reconnect over onto Walrix, but this big map makes it so difficult for this poor Retribution Paladin. Zeepai now taking a little bit of damage. Fell Lord has been committed. Destiny might have to use his bubble here. Full asphyxiate over onto Hexer. Destiny getting dangerously low. Full Cyclone followed it up by Looney. Nice crowd control, and that is finally going to be the bubble force from Free Therapy.
Yeah, the Cyclones are getting a lot of pressure. Earthen Shield Totem dropped by Hexer. He fake cast the Mind Freeze. Well done. That's going to allow him to free cast with his Ascendance. Nice place from Hexer, not falling to the pressure. They make a swap to Zeepai. They get him down below half, get the IBF and the AMZ with one attempt. If they swap back to him again, they might be able to close this match. Looney caught into the stun. Zeepai still low on health. True Shot aura is up. Facile is just tunneling aim shot after aim shot. Destiny's Avenging Wrath has been popped. If they can cut in, Zeepai tries to gate away. Zeepai trying to kite. Hexer staying on top of him, spamming out the purges. Looney struggling, but Destiny can't reconnect. He's going to swap back to Walrix. Walrix already kiting away. Destiny gets stunned. Walrix portals back to the pillar. Facile moves in, but if he line of sights, he could get bursted down. Facile used all of his defensives earlier, so he needs to make sure he doesn't line of sight Hexer for even a moment.
Yeah, Free Therapy's doing a good job when they cannot connect to Walrix. They're turning around that pressure over onto Zeepai. They need to make sure they're consistently doing damage. Looney almost out of mana. We've seen in the last game, Hexer basically run on fumes for a very long time. Valkyle's Consumption cast out, but it gets Hammer of Justice. DR trap over onto Looney. Walrix still just kiting away down to 50% HP. Gets Silencing Shot there. Facile also rotting down low. Zeepai just trying to slow down some of Destiny's damage, putting a lot of pressure over onto him. Destiny not in the best situation right now. Hexer's having a very hard time healing him. He might have overstayed his welcome. Does not have bubble. Gets caught into the stun. Blessing of protection. Is that going to be enough? Zeepai trying to connect the damage. Interrupts him. Hexer dropping the Spirit Link Totem. Going to keep him alive for a little bit longer.
Yeah, but now Hexer caught into his stun and his health would split. Will Hexer be able to survive a stressful situation for him to deal with so many interrupts? He's fake casting himself over and over. He connects one healing surge. Will he be able to stay alive? Destiny low as well. No, he gets mind frozen. Hangs on by a thread with everybody dead. Destiny's running away for his life, splitting up the Death Knight, trying to avoid death for as long as possible. Freedoming away, barely staying alive. Hexer pulls off a miracle, but his team is still low. Walrix is free casting. I'd really like to see Walrix just put a gateway into the enemy team, push up and end this, because at this point, Hexer's completely doomed. Looney's looking like he might sit down for a drink. If Looney gets any mana whatsoever, this game is over. He's just sitting in stealth. He's drinking at center field, and his mana bar at this point is going to go back to full. And with a full mana Resto Druid against an out of mana Resto Shaman, really, what can you do as free therapy?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, but free therapy, their offensive cooldowns are resetting. They almost have the wings back up, almost have the True Shot aura as well. Hexer getting gripped in, getting stunned up there. Destiny taking a lot of damage. They're trying to reverse the pressure over on the Walrix. Dampening is at 11% right now. Hexer gets locked out though. Destiny trying to reverse it with the Avenging Wrath, but he has no defensive cooldowns left whatsoever. I believe he still has one Blessing of Protection, but it's not going to do too much against Zeepai on that Death Knight and Walrix on that Demonology Warlock. Destiny kiting away with that freedom, almost getting topped off there by Hexer, but Hexer has basically committed all of his mana at this point, and Looney is full.
I really think they need to do more swaps to Looney. If they can catch him in a Wyvern Sting out of bear form, run at him with freedom, stun him, and try and 100-0 him, it's the only way I see they can win this. There's no other options. Everyone has too many defensives. Destiny in the Wombo combo, Demon Sync, trying to heal himself back up, but gets stun locked, goes down, and Enjoy Legion gonna be crushing free therapy out in game number 3 as we move to match point.
Now, like you said, Enjoy Legion is going to be on that match point against Free. Doors on match point. Casters jump right in.
Yeah, we're seconds away from the pipes opening, and will free therapy go down on match point, or will they go down fighting and bring this back to a game 5? We're about to find out.
Yeah, free therapy has really been putting it all on the line. These have been very close games. A lot of people have counted them out, including Enjoy Legion, but now Enjoy Legion sort of sweating in these games as it has been so close. We're going to be seeing Destiny and Facile trying to get that offensive opener over onto Walrix, but he's already positioned in such a great way. You can just pour it away at any time. The wings have been committed. Asphyxiate as well. Destiny trinkets out of that immediately. Divine Steeds freedoms over onto Walrix, but Walrix already kiting away. Looney not in any more crowd control, and now they're turning it around over onto Destiny. Apocalypse has been used. Hexer gets locked out, and this could be the bubble early on from Destiny.
Yeah, you do not want that Divine Shield to be going away so early. The Fell Lord is trying to force that situation. Caught into an infernal Wombo combo. If Walrix can set up a huge Thou kills, it will easily trigger that Divine Shield, but it doesn't look like he's going for it. Walrix is focusing on defense, trying to play for the long game, and Zeepai is trying to solo the Divine Shield. They don't manage to get it just yet. Hexer gets gripped down. Zeepai retreats back to the side of Looney. Lots of damage actually coming out towards there on Zeepai, and I definitely think that free therapy should be swapping their targets, attack off of the life blooms, try and force Looney to maybe run out of mana. If he can force him to switch life blooms constantly, I mean, he's already down to half. Hexer actually in the lead. If Facile can just tee off, there goes the Wyvern Sting attempt. Looney shadow melds it. Well done from Looney. Now looking for a Cyclone. Finds a full Cyclone, and Destiny is in trouble. It's 2-on-1. He's across the map. Will he be able to hold on to the Divine Shield? I do not think so. Curse of Fragility to close out on 10%. Hexer hangs on, keeps the Divine Shield for a few more seconds, eats the Mind Freeze, trying to stay in it, holding on to it as long as possible. Healing Wave's finally connecting. They hold on to the Divine Shield. A close call. If they can keep swapping around, though, maybe they can start winning on mana. Looney's still behind.
Yeah, Hexer way ahead at this point. Zeepai and Walrix doing a great job shutting down some of these heals coming in from Hexer with the off Mind Freezes as well as those spell locks. So definitely pay attention to that. That's how so much pressure is being forced over onto Destiny. Full Hodge over onto Looney. Walrix getting silenced up with the Axe Toss over onto Destiny. He's going to be stunned up, not really able to do too much damage. Bastille casting aim shot after aim shot over onto Walrix right now. He actually misses his bursting shot there. Unfortunately, Looney displaces it. So well done by Looney, avoiding some of that CC. He should be able to easily top off Walrix now.
Yeah, Walrix setting up for a Thou kills Fell Lord Wombo combo. The Ursul's Vortex is down. It catches 2 members. Destiny trying to escape, manages to get out, but Hexer can't. Now Hexer gets cloned. Divine Shield has triggered. Destiny knows that it's it's all or nothing at this point. With Avenging Wrath up, he's trying to chase after, but Hexer is getting pressured. This is match point. Can Hexer handle it? Will he be able to top off? Manages to stabilize himself. Now trying to pick up Destiny. Full trap secured. Fasteel trying to keep up the aggression for his team. Zeepai getting turreted down to 15%. Jumps out of line of sight. Corpse shield activated. Deflects the rest of the damage. Destiny has a hard decision. No Divine Shield. No Blessing of Protection. If he overextends for even a second, he easily goes down. Walrix portals away. Cackles maniacally as Destiny has no chance of reconnecting now.
Yeah, Hexer needs to be avoiding some of these interrupts. He's getting chain interrupted over and over. Finally connects some heals over onto Destiny, almost topping him off. Free Therapy has stabilized. The True Shot Aura is going to be up for Fasteel as well. Zeepai having to play a little bit defensive, sort of running behind the pillar. Icebound Fortitude has been used. Destiny getting stunned up once again, triggering out of that immediately. Full Asphyxiate over onto Hexer. Destiny taking a lot of pressure, and Hexer really has no defensive cooldowns left. Full Hodge over onto Looney. They're committing some damage over onto him. He just displaces away, does not even have to use his Bark Skin, so not even giving them that. So good play by Looney. Destiny getting swapped to, though. A lot of pressure over onto him. Ascendance comes up in the nick of time for Hexer. He's able to top off his team.
Yeah, as they start to counter pressure Zeepai, Looney gets wind sheared on the clone. Hexer is moving up with his team. It's all or nothing to kill Zeepai now. Do they have enough damage? No. Zeepai deflects. Looney recovers. Fasteel pushing up to land that trap right away, but gets bashed. Wombo combo out from Walrix. Destiny in trouble. How will Hexer deal with it? Gets counterspelled. There's really nothing left. Flash of Light gets spammed. Will Destiny survive? Hexer barely keeps him up. Riptide after Riptide. Buys a healing surge. Tries to fake cast the interrupts. Ducks out of line of sight. Manages to stabilize, and Hexer is a live lord, keeping his team alive time and time again.
Yeah, Hexer's actually ahead on mana from Looney, so Free Therapy has that to fall back on. Full Hodge over onto Walrix. He trinkets out immediately, ports away, still just kiting like a god in this game. Looney taking, getting crowd controlled up there a little bit, trying to throw some heals over onto Walrix. He doesn't really have much to top off Walrix right now. Iron Bark's not going to be available. Full spell lock over onto Hexer once again. Destiny's going to be rotting down, but he has that Avenging Wrath. Full Asphyxiate over onto Hexer. Enjoy Legion trying to push through, get some damage over onto Destiny right now. Walrix still rotting down low, though. Looney finally has that Iron Bark available to fall back on if he needs to. Free Therapy falling behind, though. Unfortunately, Destiny's going to be used that Avenging Wrath, trying to connect some damage onto somebody. Fasteel getting bashed up, actually getting swapped to now into a full clone. Hexer's not going to be able to heal him whatsoever. Destiny's still just trying to put out some damage. The only person he can find is Zeepai, but Zeepai is going to be sitting pretty with that AMS.
Yeah, they're trying to chase down Walrix. They get a Wyvern Sting. They use the Hammer of Justice for cross CC, but Walrix portaled. The Ashes there. Destiny misses his artifact ability, which means he loses a ton of damage. Walrix with an amazing portal avoided that completely. Looney fake casting the wind shear, looking for some clones maybe potentially here. Destiny going lower and lower. Hexer's mana not looking too good as we move into Dampening. This is the ultimate win condition for Enjoy Legion as they stranglehold Destiny. Pre-Blessing of Protection's a fella, but they just swap to Hexer. Will Hexer be able to pull off another miracle? Gets comboed with the Infernal, trying to escape, gets sucked back in. Will he be able to hang on? Barely squeaks behind the pillar, gets one healing surge off. Will he be able to find another? Zeepai doesn't have that Mind Freeze. Hexer just free casting, barely hanging on. Destiny getting feared away. Enjoy Legion completely stabilized at this position, and Free Therapy need to find a miracle if they're going to pull this one off.
Yeah, full Hodge over on Looney. Walrix could be in a lot of trouble. He gets silenced by that Blood Elf ability. Now he's going to be porting away once again. There's going to be a Wyvern Sting over on Looney. Walrix needs to be able to survive just a little bit longer. Destiny actually has his Avenging Wrath. Free Therapy might be able to find the damage to push through. Bursting Shot has been used by Fasteel over on Looney. Iron Bark has been committed, but Dampening is in. Can Looney top off Walrix? Destiny, Hexer, and Fasteel have sort of stabilized at this point. Full Hodge over on Looney. Walrix gates away once again. Has to life tap, basically killing himself to get that mana, but he uses that Unending Resolve, and that should be enough damage reduction to stay alive.
Yeah, Unending Resolve traded out, but Destiny has Avenging Wrath. He portaled the Ashes again. Walrix has avoided 2 of those in a row. It's a huge amount of burst from the Red Paladin. Amazing portals. Destiny needs to be more patient. He can't afford to miss that swing. Zeepai just training him down with the Chains of Ice. Avenging Wrath available. If Destiny can reconnect, he has Divine Shield, but Zeepai grips him away. Destiny charging in. Wyvern Sting lands. Avenging Wrath gets popped, and they have to kill Walrix with this burst, but Zeepai is peeling them away. They can't stay on him long enough. They're forced to swap to Looney. He bark skins right away. Anti-Magic Zone traded out, overlap, but Destiny's Divine Shield easily going to trigger as Hexer gets stunned, comboed up into the Fell Lord, into the Demon Sink. Wombo combo aligned, and Hexer getting stunned over and over, gets sucked back in. Everybody is dying, but Looney is low. low as well. Destiny solos Looney. Will he be able to do it? 1% remains and Looney barely stays alive.
That Barcian coming in way too late. That Iron Dark, he gets caught into the full Hodge. Looney could be in a little bit of trouble right now, but he has the damage reduction. He gets into cat form. He kites away. Hexer rotting down low. No mana left. Destiny only has his Blessing of Protection. Down to 5% HP. Gets Mind Frozen. Can he survive a little bit longer? Looney caught into the full trap. Warwick's getting low now as well. Hexer has nothing left in the tank. How is Destiny alive right now? Bursting shot over onto Looney. Walrix has sort of stabilized at this point. Full asphyxiate over onto Hexer.
I don't know.
That's going to be a full Hodge as well.
They're trying to kill Walrix. Walrix gates away. Facile right on top of him. Destiny trying to chase, but he just can't connect. Facile has to solo Walrix. Can Facile solo Walrix in this position? He interrupts Looney. He connects the Wyvern Sting out of it. Zeepai is dipping low as well. They swap to Zeepai. Zeepai way too overextended. Looney tries to reconnect. Blinks into a bursting shot. Can Facile land the trap? Doesn't look like he has it available. He disengaged away. Looney retreats. Zeepai recovers with the Corpse Shield. They stun Looney. Destiny tries to reconnect to Walrix. Walrix spears him away. At this point, Hexer hanging on by the skin of his teeth. No mana left. Very little cooldowns remaining as well. Walrix positioned behind the pillar. Zeepai retreating back as well. Dampening is starting to ramp up. Looney's having a hard time topping Zeepai off. If Free Therapy can get one good swap with this Avenging Wrath, maybe they can still take this.
Yeah, Looney could be in a little bit of trouble now as he is caught into that full trap. Walrix going to be kiting away, but he's into the Hodge. Shrink gets out of that immediately. Live once again. The kites away. Earthen Shield Totem was used by Hexer as well. I don't know how Hexer is healing with no mana.
He's doing a phenomenal job, but the Avenging Wrath is fading. This last Wings attempt was really their only opportunity to win. At this point, Zeepai is the most fragile target. He doesn't even need to. For the kill. Zeepai looking to find that, looking to solo Hexer. Will Hexer finally get put down? He tries to defy it, running back to the pillar. Destiny on 2%, but goes down, and Enjoy Legion stranglehold their way to victory, 3-1.
Yeah, but what an impressive game by Free Therapy. They were definitely not a free win. Enjoy Legion going to be sweating in that series.
Therapy really showing.
Interested to see Method, of course, with a plethora of options, but they're going to go back to their hard and true TSG, the Warrior, the Death Knight, and the Restoration Druid, because even some beautiful first aid coming out of Blizzard, just showing that he has it bound.
All right, Dane and Dave are going to be playing Marksmanship, Subtlety Rogue, not a composition I was expecting. Maybe that will catch Method Triforce off guard as well. Looked like they wanted to start some pressure on Botar, but they gave up the opportunity there. They're going to crowd control him instead, make a swap to swap on that Death Knight. Bursting him down to half. He managed to get the anti-magic shell in between the stun locks. Botar sitting through some sap CC at the moment. They trade out anti-magic zone to try and make sure that they can stand still and counter pressure them back. Blizzo going for a Blade Storm over onto Dave. Dave disengages away, gets gripped back into the fight. Kron grips him back to the center, back and forth. Dave is going to be getting dizzy, manages to restabilize as they swap to Botar. Dane is trying to solo Botar. Will be able to find the kill? No. Thorns is going to force Dane to swap off, or he risks killing himself, basically.
Yeah, and Swapsy's also pulling back. This is something we saw kind of in the ABC series, but Swapsy's actually able to. Now we see the blind onto Botar, though. Of course, he is playing the Relentless, so this is dangerous. They get the trap off of that. Botar trading out, or sorry, Swapsy trading out the IBF. Should be able to line of sight the MM Hunter here and live, probably. You can see as this UIs are flipping over, it's a little confusing, but yes, Dave also dropping a little bit low. And this is one of the things that Method Triforce need to do. Keep kiting around the pillar, force the Marksman Hunter to chase close, and then they can get the damage out.
Yeah, I mean, Botar was in a dangerous situation there with Swapsy getting so low. He's going to need to keep an eye out for those long crowd control chains, but with blind out of the way, Method Triforce can sit comfortable for a few minutes. They're trying to get aggressive, trying to get some counter pressure onto Dave. Dane is trying to swap to Blizzo. Thorns is used onto Blizzo. I'd really like to see a swap to Botar here. Botar needs to be careful, but no, they commit the kidney shot. They drop the smoke bomb. They go all in for a kill onto the Death Knight, but they drop the stun lock. Swapsy gets anti-magic shell up. He's going to tank out some of the pressure. Botar now into a stun, but no trap to follow it up. Dane now gets stunned behind the pillar. Botar looks to cyclone him. Dane actually trinketed out and landed a kick. A cheeky play from Dane. Let's see if he can build some
some momentum off of that. Botar is down to half. Dave is pushing in. If Dave can get in line of sight of Botar during a full stun out of Bear, could be devastating. Swapsy still getting pressured. Kronz's mana, though, is ultimately the time sink that they need to burn through, and with it now below half, it's not looking too great for KPI Gaming. Dane getting counter pressure behind the pillar in the bash, but Kronz pushed up for a triple fear, but Dane still taking the heat. Down below half, Cloak of Shadows. Kronz should be able to pick him up quite easily now in this position. Dane gets disarmed and denies the sap. Well done there from Blizzo, breaking up that crowd control chain. Dave is now forced to retreat away, trying to bursting shot the DPS, and it feels like Dane is just trying to solo Botar, and Dave is going to kite Swapsy and Blizzo. An interesting split strategy we saw against the rest of Druids earlier. Botar falling behind, Swapsy getting bursted. Anti-magic zone trying to protect both players. Botar manages to stay alive for now, but this split pressure, another setup like that could be the end of the match.
Yeah, that was some crazy burst coming out of Yes Dave. Of course, that was the true shot aura from him. But now Barkskin, oh, they broke the blind. That's so unfortunate. Botar was caught in the full blind out of bear form, but they might be able to swap it over onto Swapsy. Full trap connects.
Why did he life grip Dave out right there? Dave could have gotten some decent damage, but Kronz didn't feel like he was safe. Kronz moves in now for a fear. Dane gets bashed behind the pillar. Swapsy chopping into him. Swapsy is scared right now at Botar. They just want to stay alive, make sure that they can burn out the rest of Kronz's mana and stranglehold their opponents. There's probably one more good crowd control chain left from KPI Gaming in this matchup. They've got about 13 more seconds to initiate it, or Botar's defensives will be available. Botar sitting in that bear form, getting ready for the assault. They're forced to swap into Swapsy. They use the Wyvern Sting to keep the crowd control chain going. Shackle onto the pet, trying to get as much control onto the team as possible, but Dave's pet went down. He had to spend time resurrecting it. Dane is getting counter pressured. Kronz is completely out of mana. He can't keep this up any longer. The next stun needs to land a kill, and I don't think it's going to be able to. Dane is dipping lower and lower. Kronz can't keep up. The pressure is starting to mount in favor of Method Triforce. Dane is desperately trying to defy it. They mind control Blizzo. Kronz says, if I don't have mana to heal, I'm going to crowd control and try and get my team going, but Dane gets bashed behind the pillar. It's 2-on-1. War Stomp on the trinket. Dane barely stays alive with that evasion pop. They stun up Botar. Dave is now getting cleaved. They go all in for the kill on Botar, but I don't think they're going to find it. They try to knock him back into the open, try to burst him down, but with Barkskin now up and Thorns up, Dane can't afford to attack into it. He needs to retreat away, and Kronz is still tapped on mana.
Yeah, Method Triforce are really playing into their strength. They're known for these quite stable compositions where if they just play the game accurately, which they're so good at, of course, these are 2 times world champions, they are able to just win the game by attrition. Kronz completely Dane out of defensive cooldown. Smoke Bomb's going to be the last attempt onto Blizzo. Parry, die by the sword. He does have the rallying cry, also trades that out. Stormbot onto Dane, execute connects, and he will fall. Method Triforce executed like true professionals, 1-0 to them.
Triforce now
have against this composition specifically. It seems to be one that's just broken out today, basically. Dane crossing the map, looking for sap, not able to find it. Blizzo, I believe he uses first aid to get in combat, actually. It's important to save the Berserker Rage. You don't want to use that on a sap and then get feared later, so that's actually a really high-level decision to use first aid to get combat. Now, it does seem like Yes Dave is in stealth. They're going to cross the map. They want to get a bursty start, but Swapsy finds Dave, denies the surprise. Dane gets bashed behind the pillar, trinkets that early on. They're going to be going and focusing their damage on Swapsy, it would seem, but if they stack up too long, Swapsy's going to have a field day attacking 2 targets. Blizzo is going to train down the Discipline Priest, and it looks like Method Triforce are going to go for a split DPS strategy instead.
Yeah, I think this is a good choice because unlike the Windwalker, which we saw in Nemo's series, Blizzo doesn't really have the same like self-healing. He doesn't have defensive cooldowns such as Karma, so he's going to rock with Swapsy, as Zico was saying in that 2v2. So instead, they're going to split DPS. They'll have Swapsy sit on Yes Dave to stop him connecting to Botar, and even though Blizzo's not going to do much damage to a Discipline Priest, they're going to have him sit on him just to avoid the AoE pressure coming out of that Arcane Mage.
Right now, Dane is pressuring Botar. He's trying to bait Barkskin with this damage. If he can find Barkskin before Vendetta, that's going to open up a win condition. Yes Dave kiting Swapsy, so it's a 1v1v1. Kronz is 1v1ing Blizzo, Dave is 1v1ing Swapsy, and Dane is 1v1ing Botar. Swapsy helping out Botar there by gripping Dane and Chains of Icing him. Dave is just running at Botar. That's a mistake, I think, from the Arcane Mage. He should be kiting Swapsy as far away from Botar as possible. Now he's trying to support and force Blizzo away, attacking him. Blizzo spell reflecting, now polymorphing. I think polymorph is going to be great to control Blizzo behind that pillar. If Kronz can bait him back into a bad position. The pressure seems to be high, though. Swapsy doing a ton of damage. Kronz is already down to half mana. Botar isn't getting pressured, and I wonder if KPI Gaming have enough practice with this comp because it's not looking clean so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're trying to figure out what they want to do against the split strategy. Botar getting caught in the middle of the map. Actually, they have to trade out the anti-magic zone and the bark skin there, so that's not good for them. No trinket, no bark skin available could be an opportunity. Vendetta was, of course, committed, which is why they traded out those cooldowns. But going back to the overall strategy, I think, well, yes, Dave is doing an incredible job getting pressure onto Botar. Maybe he's going to prove us wrong. I was thinking maybe he should go back on Blizzo a little bit, but he's getting some really good pressure right now. Dane having to be peeled off so that he can't connect.
Yeah, Botar is going to deflect the assault. Dave is forced to retreat back to the center of the map. Blizzo is still just chopping away at Kronz, and it's slowly but surely costing his mana. Swapsy still trying to 1v1. Yes, Dave, tons of missiles followed up with the barrage. Down below half, Kronz penalties as well. They go for the shadow step, kidney shot, swap. They have to 100-0 him in the stun lock. Yes, Dave spams out the missiles. They don't get the follow-up stun. They needed to kill him with that, and they don't find it. Botar blinks to safety. Dave evocating back to full mana, trying to reset for that burst. He has arcane power. That could be a huge burst for him. Lizzo chopping into Dane. Lizzo trying to find a different target. I don't think he wants to be attacking the rogue. He would like to get back onto Kronz maybe, or even Dave. He's going to charge Kronz. The kidney shot Swapsy. It basically seems like KPI Gaming are going to attack whoever is in the center of the map. Right now that is only Swapsy. He's getting focused down. They get Icebound Fortitude. Kronz lands a fear onto Botar. Doesn't look like there's going to be any follow-up out of that. Swapsy forced to trade out Anti-Magic Shell to deflect the assault of Dave. Dave is cutting through that with those missiles being spammed out. Huge pressure from Dave. Botar trying to pick him back up. Dane makes a swap to Blizzo. It looks like Blizzo is going to be perfectly fine, though, and Dane's Vendetta basically goes wasted. Yes, Dave's still trying to take out Swapsy. Blinking in, double blinking in for a poly. Doesn't find it. Good shapeshift by Botar. Dave getting pressured now as he double blinked in. He's going to be in trouble. Gets life gripped back to the middle of the map with that temporal shield. Should bounce back with some health here, but Kronz is tapped on mana. He needs to find a drink. Will they be able to? Unholy mutagens, those green slimes are going to keep him in combat, so interesting talent choice from Swapsy. We usually see Necrotic Strike, but playing the Unholy Mutagen will deny drinks. Now they make a last-ditch effort to kill Botar. They don't get the follow-up stun, though. As Assassination, you don't have a Vanish or Shadow Dance on as much of a demand of cooldown, so it's only a kidney shot, and you have to 100 Ohm, and it's really not enough. I feel like with this strategy, it would have almost been better for Dane to be Subtlety, so he could stunlock Botar multiple times. At this position, KPI Gaming are just getting stranglehold to death.
Yeah, I think KPI Gaming didn't really expect this coming out of Method Triforce. I mean, honestly, it feels like they've just been thrown for a loop here. Blizzo is just swapping around between Kronz and Dane. You can see Kronz in the back trying to get a drink right now. If he's able to get that, that could be significant. It looks like he might be able to. And of course, Arcane Mage and Assassination Rogue are quite slippery, so they should give Kronz the opportunity to reset. But like you say, talent choices coming out from Swapsy are going to deny that. Blizzo also connecting back over onto Kronz. And this is the thing. KPI Gaming, every single time they feel like they get their foothold in this game, Method Triforce changed something up. They're familiar that these guys aren't playing land before. They're trying to just unnerve them a little bit, and I think it's working.
Yeah, Kronz is getting pressured now with 0 mana. Blizzo is looking to close the match. Pummels the poly, goes into battle stance. Swapsy moving in. Method Triforce know that they've got this game in the bag at this point, with Kronz having nothing left. Just a little bit more damage to push them over the edge. Blizzo chopping through. Looks like he's going to swap back to Kronz. Dane is looking for a Shadow Step kidney shot. Can they 100-0 Botar with this Vendetta assault? They grip Dane off. He's not able to reconnect. The missiles not going to be enough. Dave getting pressured away. Kronz getting pummeled. Everybody dying. Method Triforce looking for a triple kill. Will Yes Dave be able to survive? 10% HP remaining. Kronz with nothing left. Blizzo looking to close the match. Kronz trying to get away from him, but he runs back into Swapsy, trying to cross the map. And at this point, Method Triforce looking to close. Kronz has nothing left, and Blizzo finds the execute. Method Triforce play that out with clinical defense to cleanse.
As he said, was Blickstack, and actually when he qualified for BlizzCon, it was with this German duo, Botar and Swapsy. Of course, these guys have been at it for years. I think they played their first regionals of BlizzCon together in like 2011. Fabio on the bench won BlizzCon back in like 2011, 2010. So these guys have been around for such a long time, and they just look absolutely on fire.
Yeah, Dane trying to get some opening pressure on Botar, but immediately retreats back. Yes, Dave is actually playing Frost and not Arcane, so he's going to have more snare potential, but no blinks. Decent damage on Swapsy early on, but not getting any cooldowns. Botar actually getting blink counterspelled. That's the plays that KPI Gaming need to make if they're going to get a kill. They need to catch Botar off guard. Counterspell, a great way to do that. Blizzo leaping into the fight, trying to chase down Dave.
Kron stabilizing him very easily so far. He's keeping him very healthy. Dane has Vendetta available. He needs to commit that soon. They're trying to bait some cooldowns before they do it. He's playing the Fan of Knives spec, trying to build some spread pressure, but Dave forced into an early ice block. Only one more of those remaining for the match. Method in a dominating position.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Zika was saying earlier in the day. Frost is just the worst against these cleaves because you have to cast a lot to get your damage out. Anti-magic zone, anti-magic cell. There's so many defensive cooldowns on Method Triforce. Blizzard needs to be a bit careful running the Relentless. Maybe they can catch him out, but the Vendetta is down, of course. Icy Veins is now available, but they're able to just play a little bit defensive. Yastave is having to push away, and once again, it's going to be a story of the mana bars. Botar has used a fair bit, but Kronz has used more.
The other thing is Phantom Knives needs to hit 3 targets to gain the bonus damage. Swapsy is playing this smart by keeping his pet on Kronz, who is 40 yards away, which means that Blizzo and Swapsy are only 2 targets, and Dane is effectively wasting global cooldowns. I mean, Phantom Knives on the only 2 targets. Unless Kronz maybe YOLOs and stacks up with the pet for a triple Phantom Knives, he's not going to gain that bonus damage. They're not going to use the effective spread pressure that they seem to be wanting to do with this comp. Swapsy dipping low, trades out Icebound Fortitude. Should easily recover now, allowing them to push in, trying to chase down Dave. Kron's still trying to pick him up, but he's expended so much mana and so little time that this match is going to be closing in quick. Dane getting Chains of Ice, trying to stay on his target. Decent spread pressure, but Botar still has Iron Bark to burn through, keep his team stable. Kronz moves in for a double fear. They make the swap to Botar in desperation, trying to find opportunity off of nothing. They bait the Bark Skin from Botar before committing the Vendetta. Another swap like that could find the kill. They're baiting his Trinket with this blind. They get the Trinket and the Bark Skin with 1 attempt. They need to do a one-hit wonder on Botar here with some good cross CC on Swapsy to deny the anti-magic zone. They've got one opportunity to find it here in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and actually they got the anti-magic zone, I think, earlier in the game as well, so maybe they can get this kill onto Botar, but of course they're going to have to get some pressure onto the DPS. Otherwise, Botar is just going to sit behind the pillar. He's going to sit in bear form, and that's going to make it very difficult. You can see Vendetta is available, Orb is available. Here we go. He gets caught out of form. Yes, Dave couldn't really connect, though. The Orb actually used on the DPS as well, so he's not really doing any damage. Huge misplay, in my opinion, from Yes, Dave there. If he'd saved that Orb, it might have been enough to take down Botar. I think it's still unlikely since, of course, the peels were coming out from Blizzo and Swapsy. It's so annoying as a Frost Mage compared to an Arcane to actually reach your target against these melees.
I just feel like if Dane was subtlety in that specific situation, Botar was dead. I feel like if they have the triple stun, they can deny the frenzy regen. They swap back to Swapsy. Corpse Shield, he gets mind controlled, low HP. Can they polymorph Botar? Any crowd control on Botar at all? Swapsy dangerously low, getting put into a terrible position with that mind control. Kron's running on fumes, though. No mana left to really heal his team. Botar moving up. He's going to be taking the balcony. Wants to make sure his team can overextend for the kill without getting compromised on positioning. Dane looks like he's pressuring Botar, trying to catch him with a kidney shot out of form, but even if he does, he has Barkskin available. Yes, Dave trying to kite here with those Frost Novas and Blizzards comboed together with Blizzo, Blade Storms. And at this point, Kronz with nothing left is chasing after Botar, looking for a Psychic Scream, maybe out of bear form to swap with a stun, but I still don't think they have enough damage to do it. They're trying to commit for the kill on the Swapsy, but Dave is forced in reverse to a block, ends up canceling that early, trying to get a polymorph out of the Psychic Scream there, but doesn't manage to get it in time, and now Dane in trouble. No defensive cooldowns remaining, full clone landed, Kronz trinkets out, Dane shadow steps away, line of sighting on the balcony to avoid the death grip from Swapsy. Good positioning from Dane, but once again, Kronz with no mana left. Yes, Dave with no blocks left. Method Triforce in a commanding position to close this match. Dave getting interrupted, he gets rooted on the life grip by the pet. High level play there from Swapsy to claim the win and a clean victory 3-0.
Yeah, an absolute class.